Post-match chat is live. What an incredible game. Every single game in this HBL PSL gets more and more and more exciting. Really tight stuff. But I'm afraid to say the Karachi curse, not the Karachi curse, sorry, the National Stadium of Karachi curse continues. The teams that bat first lose the games, even when they score 196. A phenomenal chase from Islamabad United today to defeat Karachi. Unbelievable. Lots to talk about. Very pleased to have with me again my friends Anam Nadeem and Armaan Kirmani. Anam, I always go to you first, but I want to go to Armaan first. He's a fan of Karachi. His roots are in the city of Karachi. 196 not being chased. That's got to sting a little bit.
You mean 196 not being defended?
Defended, yes. I beg your pardon, yes.
It doesn't sting. I think as a Pakistan fan, first and foremost, 196 scored and 196 chased is great for Pakistani cricket. And the great thing that I want to highlight is today we saw the best of Hussain Talat, Iftikhar Ahmed, Asif Ali, Sharjeel Khan. We saw such batting talent by Pakistanis, all fighting for that position number 5 that I said to everybody yesterday. They've all put themselves in contention. And Sharjeel may be trying to fight for that opening spot. Superb. मतलब कि इस ऐसी हार में भी जीत है, हम बाजीगर हैं, is that kind of feeling today.
Yeah, I like that. I like that philosophy of being bazigar. Everybody can be bazigar in the PSL. Anam, tell me, what was your moment of the match today? There's loads to pick from. I know there's 2 players that you highlighted for Karachi's loss off mic, but you tell me, what was your moment of the match?
हाँ, मोमेंट ऑफ द मैच से रिलेटेड नहीं है. वसीम भाई के ऊपर कैमरा आया और साइमन डुअल ने उनसे पूछा कि व्हाट डज द प्रेसिडेंट डू, एंड वसीम भाई इज लाइक अभी मैं भी फिगर आउट कर रहा हूं. आई एम नॉट श्योर कि प्रेसिडेंट करता क्या है. आई एम द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ कराची किंग्स, बट आई एम नॉट श्योर मैं करता क्या हूं. आई एम फिगरिंग इट आउट. सो दिस वाज विंटेज वसीम भाई का जवाब, और दिस वाज माय मोमेंट ऑफ द डे.
Yeah, and just give us a little bit about the match as well today. Like, where did it go wrong for Karachi?
पहले बॉबी Babar Azam's innings, मतलब I know he scored a 50, but then इतना slow. उसने अपनी आखिरी 23 balls पे he didn't hit a single boundary. और Sharjeel on the other end was like firing it on, लेकिन बाबर stuck था. And maybe जहाँ पे दोनों players को मारने की जरूरत थी, बाबर ने कहीं ना कहीं टीम को डुबोया है आज. मतलब I know बाबर is बाबर, but still, facts जो हैं वो हमें बोलने पड़ेंगे. And on the other side, then it was Amir Yamin's over, जहाँ पे momentum ही change हो गया सारा.
I mean, they did eventually get Alex Hills, but by then it was, the complete equation, the advantage of 196 has changed. Yeah. It's really weird because Sharjeel and Babar played inverse innings, really, because Sharjeel, after something like 20 balls, was on like 8 runs or 7 runs and accelerated at a ridiculous rate, whereas Babar sort of decelerated. He was looking so good. There were 2 consecutive boundaries that he hit with the lofted straight drive, and the cover looked incredible. But anyway, we're going to break it down in more detail. First of all, let's get Armaan's moment of the day.
Yeah, honestly, there were a lot of great moments. I'm going to give you 2, though, because I can't pick between them. The first one is just the abuse that Sharjeel Khan was getting on Twitter and from all people watching for his slow strike rate in the first 17 odd balls, and how he transformed from that abuse to playing one of the best PSL innings, definitely probably the best innings we've seen in this PSL so far. So that was just T20 summed up. You just have to be patient. मैंने 2-3 दफा भी आपसे पहले कहा है कि यार पाकिस्तानी supporters को थोड़ा सा patience रखना पड़ेगा, because once you get your eye in, strike rates can increase really, really quickly. So Sharjeel Khan का moment जबरदस्त, लेकिन I can't talk about Sharjeel Khan and not mention the devastating hitting by Asif Ali. Like, that guy has to go to the World Cup. As a Pakistani fan, I need that guy there because Pakistan has not been able. I just heard the commentator say कि यार इस बंदे की PSL में average है 1 छक्का every 7 to 8 balls, और आज उसने 7 बॉलों में 2 छक्के लगाए. ऐसी प्लेयर हमारे पास है ही नहीं. अब मतलब कि बहुत मुश्किल से आए. I know we're improving, but this is the guy we need coming in lower down the order.
Listen, you're right. This is a new stat that they've started to highlight as well, like balls per 6. And it's very relevant to T20 cricket. Sometimes I think they come up with just useless, pointless stats that don't mean anything. But 6s per ball or balls per 6 is pretty good, I think. And Asif Ali's record is pretty sparkling. Should he get back in the team? I guess time will tell. But He's made a very strong case in the first game. Yeah, I'm with you, by the way, Armaan, about this reactionary culture in Pakistani cricket. कि एक मैच गलत खेला, इसको निकालो भाई. एक मैच अच्छा खेला, इसको बीच में डालो. You got to have that patience and that long-term approach as a Pakistani cricket fan. And there's one thing we maybe lack. But chalo, theek hai. I'll give you my moment of the day as well. Unlike you, there were many, 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 many to choose from. But for me, it was probably, I'm going to do one of your ones today, Armaan. I really like the guy that came on during the Hamare Hero segment, talking about supporting families with children with Down syndrome in Pakistan. Like, that's a really, really good cause. And it was almost uncomfortable when they cut away from it. Usually, it's perfectly reasonable. You cut away from that segment, wicket falls, together. But on this occasion, I was kind of like, chalo, yeah, wicket गिर गया, बाद में बात कर लेना, इसको बंदे को बात पूरी करने दो क्योंकि बहुत जरूरी है. But that was very nice that, I'm coming round. Shuru mein, I was one of those really traditional people who thinks कि match के दौरान, I don't like pitch side interviews, I don't like distractions, I don't like these shots of people eating donuts or drinking tea or whatever. But this is a really valuable thing, especially while you've got a global audience, to have somebody who in the English language is talking about one of the positive things happening in Pakistan. That's worth its weight in gold for me. Acha, anyway, let's talk about the game a little bit, okay? So, like, Alex Hills, it was carrying a lot of weight of expectation, right? I saw a lot of tweets saying, yeah, Alex Hills agar century nahi karega, then they'll never get back in the game. Alex Hills has to make up for all those dropped catches. But really, it was quite a balanced approach in the end from Islamabad, Anam.
I think Islamabad की perfect approach थी. हर कोई ट्विटर पे भी यही बात कर रहा था कि it's refreshing to see wickets जा रही हैं, लेकिन वो लोग hit करना नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं. मतलब उनको पता है कि उनके targets, छोटे targets उन्होंने बनाए हुए हैं, and they were willing to go by their nature, जो जिस batsman की nature है. For example, जब शादाब out हुआ, शादाब ने batting order change किया, उसने फहीम को बुला लिया अंदर. ठीक है, we don't see Fahim batting up the order, लेकिन उसने कहा कि he was willing to take the risk, और वो लोग रुके नहीं, ठक 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 ग्राउंड से बाहर जा रही है. They did come a phase जहाँ पे इफ्तिखार और हुसैन तालिब थोड़ा सा stuck हो गए थे, but then again I think it just panned out so well for them.
That kind of stutter was almost entirely due to Muhammad Nabi and some very classy, experienced spin bowling. Experience always goes a long way in cricket, Armaan. Like, I always believe it doesn't matter how young and talented you are, like how exciting, how quick, how much skill you've got. I always feel like a good amount of experience, it always gives you more. Like, in those situations, you always know what you got to do.
100%. और मैं भी आपसे यही कह रहा था पिछले 2-3 shows में कि the younger players, we have tried them out. We've given them an opportunity in the South Africa series. Unfortunately for them, it didn't go their way. We're getting to see some of their great talents in the PSL. लेकिन this excitement, यार वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा है, हुसैन तलत को भी लेके जाओ और इफ्तिखार अहमद को भी लेके जाओ और हैदर अली को, he's the next best thing. This culture has to stop. देखो ना, हमारे पास जो top 4 हैं, they're all experienced players. Shoaib Malik is also providing. Mohammad Ahmed, look at the years of experience. Mohammad Ahmed is one of the best bowlers of T20. Even today, you can see. यार मुझे नहीं पता चल रहा कि सिर्फ मैं हूँ या दूसरे लोग भी ये चीज नोटिस कर रहे हैं कि हमारे bowlers जो हैं, they're bowling far too short on these kind of wickets. Mohammad Ahmed is regularly giving good economies, taking good wickets, and at the same time, he's pitching it up. He's got those yorkers in there. Obviously not every ball, but he's mixing it up and he's following the batsman, and थोड़ी सी intellectual ability उसमें दिखाई देती है कि यार ये बंदा plan के साथ bowling कर रहा है. Even that at the end where he got hit for the 6, I think it was Asif Ali. But his strategy, you could see he was trying to bowl on the leg stump in terms of bowling a leg stump yorker. वो commentator भी यही कह रहा था because he was moving away. So yeah, it didn't work out today. Fair enough, full toss हो गई, लंबा छक्का पड़ गया, match हार गया, ठीक है ना. लेकिन on another day, that kind of intelligence in crunch overs for Pakistan will come in very handy. और हम देख रहे हैं कि हमारे bowlers नहीं चल पा रहे हैं. इस PSL में भी हम देख रहे हैं कि सीमर्स बहुत पिटे हैं. मोहम्मद हसनैन पिटा है, नसीम शाह पिटा है, कल भी हमने देखे. तो we need the experience of players like Mohammad Ahmed, in my opinion, going forward, and we shouldn't just be so so much in a rush कि यार नया player आया है तो बस unless he's like an Afridi or debut में वो record तोड़ दे, but he's no good and that's it. He just doesn't have a career. So yeah, I strongly believe experience is the way to go.
Yeah, experience is the way to go. Long-term approach, and also like sometimes it's useful not to think in a national thing, it's obviously there's a very interesting subplot ke Pakistan ka middle order jo hai usko kaise fill in kiya jayega, World T20s coming, how will they sculpt the perfect team? But also, you think with the future of cricket is franchise cricket. I really believe that. I think in the next sort of 10 years you'll have bigger contingencies, bigger followings for a lot of IPL, PSL, maybe even the 100 teams than you do for international teams, and it'll go the way of international football. But with that in mind, like if you're picking a league T20 side, TK, like let's say you've got a team in the LPL and you're trying to get players in, like yes, it's very exciting to have people like Shahnawaz, like who was fantastic yesterday, or even Iqbal, Arshad Iqbal, who's I think so good, so good, right? But someone like Mohammad Nabi, the reason he gets picked all over the world is that experience on him.
उसका एक्सपीरियंस इज अनमैच. मतलब सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद के लिए खेल चुका है, अफगानिस्तान के लिए इज अ की प्लेयर, एंड नाउ वी हैव हिम इन पीएसएल एज वेल एंड ही इज शोइंग इट. मुझे थोड़ा सा लगता है कि इमाद को उसको शायद थोड़ा सा जल्दी लेके आना चाहिए था. इमाद मिस्ड अ ट्रिक बाय नॉट इंट्रोड्यूसिंग नबी इनटू द अटैक अ लिटिल अर्लियर. अगर थोड़ा सा जल्दी करता तो हो सकता है कि 1-2 विकेटें गिर जाती, क्योंकि जब तक नबी का आखिरी ओवर आया, ऑब्वियसली इस्लामाबाद को पता था कि उनका प्लान ऑफ अटैक एक ही है कि मारो इसको. इनिशियली उसको मार नहीं पा रहे थे. सो अगर हो सकता है नबी को थोड़ा सा जल्दी लेकर आते तो सिचुएशन शायद डिफरेंट हो सकती थी. बट देन
अभी तक इस लीग में स्पिनर्स की इतनी पोटेंसी अभी तक नहीं रही है, जनरली स्पीकिंग, एंड इवन हिस्टोरिकली इन कराची, बट इज इट पॉसिबल, अरमान, दैट teams are over-indexing a little bit on data, like on just going a little bit too hard on what they know rather than feeling things instinctively?
ये कौन सा डेटा? ये तो हमारे नए बच्चे आए हैं, ये तो नए इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स पाकिस्तान में पहली दफा खेल रहे हैं, तो डेटा तो अभी है ही नहीं ना. तो
Karachi का डेटा यानी कि like so the historically 85% of wickets at the PSL in Karachi have been taken by seam bowlers, and I feel like the teams are thinking that means we have to back our seam bowlers, and that's why sort of Nabi today was like a plan, not even a plan B, but a plan C.
Why? देखो, data has its place in modern cricket, and I'm not going to dispute that. लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से, what is it, 25 years experience of watching high level international cricket, we can just see when bowlers are not bowling well enough, and that for me is very very abundantly clear. Data तक तो बात पहुंचती है तो बहुत दूर की आप मुझे बात बता रहे हो. यहाँ तो स्पिनर्स जो हैं वो ठीक तरह से टर्न नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, सही तरीके से लेंथ नहीं कर रहे हैं. हमारे फास्ट बॉलर शॉर्ट पिच कर रहे हैं एशियन विकेट में. भाई जमाना बदल गया है, टेक्नोलॉजी बदल गई है, बल्लों का साइज देखो, जिस तरीके से इनके हथौड़े हाथ है, इनकी फिटनेस देखो. भाई आपकी लेंथ अगर सही नहीं होगी तो आपको घुमा के देंगे, फेटी तो लगनी है ना फिर. तो पाकिस्तान, देखो, it's a double-edged sword because Pakistan's strength traditionally has been its bowling, and right now we're seeing the best of Pakistani batting in this last 2 games at least in the PSL. So now the pressure is back on the bowlers to innovate, and I'm very very confident that the bowlers will come back. Lekin we just have not worked out how to bowl on this Karachi wicket.
Anam, 2 गेमें हो गई हैं सबकी, ठीक है. Lahore is at the top, with an unbeaten record. Islamabad is, not far behind, obviously, with net run rates and things like that. Karachi today, slight setback, but it's a very long tournament. They are still looking exceptionally strong. I think it's just a matter of getting the balance and getting those key moments right. I wouldn't put, I wouldn't take Karachi away from that favorites bracket. अभी से क्या feels आ रही हैं कि कौन कहाँ तक पहुंचेगा, कि अभी तक क्या लग रहा है?
I don't know, मैं प्रिडिक्ट नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, बड़ी जल्दी है. मतलब अगर अभी बोल दिया तो बाद में चेंज करना मुश्किल हो जाएगा.
Who's the one player that's impressed you more than anybody else so far? And Arman, get ready, I'm coming to you in a second as well with the same question.
That's a tough one. I don't know, अब तक I think जितने भी young emerging fast bowlers हैं, जितने भी, I think सबने impress किया है. मतलब I won't take just one name. Dahani yesterday, Arshad Iqbal, Mohammad Imran, इन सब ने impress किया है. And I think going forward they'll play an important role. And I think Karachi Kings को भी मोहम्मद इलियास को मौका देना पड़ेगा. He was with Multan Sultans पिछले season में भी, and he was very impressive. So I think Karachi need to include Ilyas as well to get the flavor.
Achha, I'm going to come back to you and say which one player has disappointed you the most as well. But wait, I'll let you think about that. But Arman, who's the one player that's impressed you the most so far?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Asif Ali. I think the clean hitting, the noise it's making when the ball is hitting his bat, and the way his statistics are looking right now, भाई मुझे पाकिस्तान में best interest है. मुझे बहुत जोर से सोच है कि number 5, number 6 हमारी position weak now because I know our top 4 are world beaters. तो शायद मैं थोड़ा सा biased हूँ, मैं openers पे इतना emphasis नहीं दे रहा हूँ, मैं सिर्फ middle order batsman देख रहा हूँ because unfortunately Iftikhar didn't do well against South Africa, Hussain Talal didn't do well against South Africa, तो वो position जो है बड़ी weak भी जा रही है, and Haider Ali was also disappointing for the international matches. So, you know, for me, I'm looking at Asif Ali and I'm thinking, man, if this guy gets in for 12 balls, then, you know, statistically, he's hitting at least 12 of 2 of them. So, matlab ke banda is going to have a strike rate of 200 to 250 if he can perform this at international level, which of course is a massive assumption because the level is up. Lekin ye is tariqe ka player or is culture ka player hame zarurat hai, but he's really impressing me so far.
Yeah, you know, kuch wando yaar, maybe it was the same for me. Like Asif Ali, very impressive. I really like this guy. You know, I've had a chance to speak to him before as well, so I completely agree with you. He's my kind of guy to watch as well throughout this tournament. Sort of, but it's not. I'm not going to pick the same one as you. Obviously, I'll pick. Obviously, going to say Mohammad Rizwan. You know, Mohammad Rizwan is you know, like a safe bet right now. I love how quickly with Rizwan. I just love how quickly he's become this institution in Pakistani cricket. Acha, this is the Mazidar one, right? Think about this. I want disappointing players. And I'll tell you why. It's linked to the next segment, which is about tweets. Yesterday, Dennis does cricket, who's a friend of ours and, you know, friend of Pakistani cricket, big fan of Pakistani cricket, and just a great guy. He tweeted to say that Wahab Riaz is the most overrated bowler in Pakistani history, right? Which is it's quite a broad thing to say. And I actually try to defend Wahab Riaz. I posted a video underneath it of the delivery he bowled in the first Peshawar game where he took out the leg stump with a searing Yorker. Absolutely beautiful. And I got a lot of you know, pushback on that from fans. Like, kabhi kabhi ek ball 100 mein deta hai, isliye wicket le leta hai, waqai overrated hai. Everybody kind of jumping on me. So that made me think about overrated players. Whose work are you not enjoying so far, Anam?
I won't say कि underperform किया, लेकिन I had huge expectations from Azam Khan, and जिस तरह से मुझे लग रहा था कि आजम खान दोनों मैचेस में वो कुछ बड़ा करेगा, he wasn't able to. तो हाँ, इन 2 मैचेस में अगर मुझे पर्सनली किसी प्लेयर ने डिसअपॉइंट किया तो वो आजम खान है.
अच्छा, and Armaan.
Yeah, can I make a general comment about disappointment in the PSL? For me, the disappointing thing has been captaincy. I really feel across the board, the teams that have been defending totals, we have not really seen you know, somebody coming up with innovative tactics to try and slow down the momentum. एक दफा momentum हाथ से निकल गया तो बस अगर वो 8वें ओवर में गया 10वें ओवर में गया अब गेम खत्म, उसके बाद गेम आने नहीं. This cannot happen. So मेरे हिसाब से I'm very disappointed that Pakistan are not able to defend with such exciting bowling that we've traditionally had, and captains are not innovating enough to try and stop the momentum that changes. So उस हिसाब से I mean
बहुत बुरी बात है, प्लेयर नहीं चुना.
नहीं, मैं प्लेयर भी चुन सकता हूँ, ऐसी बात नहीं. फॉर मी प्लेयर, एक तो कमेंट चलो मैंने कैप्टनसी पे कर दिया. अगर आपको प्लेयर चाहिए तो आई एम वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड विद ऑल ऑफ आवर सीमर्स, ठीक है ना. मोहम्मद हसनैन, नसीम शाह, सुहेल तनवीर, दीस आर ऑल एक्सपीरियंस सीमर्स. सब पिट रहे हैं, सब बहुत शॉर्ट बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट high quality international level bowling. जिसमें मोहम्मद आमिर को देख रहा हूँ, this बंदा is not even playing for Pakistan most of the time right now because of selection issues and politics. ये बंदा आके परफॉर्म कर रहा है और आप लोग तो हर T20 फ्रेंचाइज में खेल रहे हो, आप टेस्ट भी खेल रहे हो, आप वनडे भी खेल रहे हो, आप PSL में कैसे पिट रहे हो यार? मतलब ये मजाक है. ये it's not आप 145 पे हसनैन बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं. कल हमने नया बॉलर शाहनवाज दानी को भी देखा, you know, he's bowling at 145. नसीम शाह is meant to be the world's fastest bowler और सबके सब पिटे जा रहे हैं यार, पिटे जा रहे हैं. और उन बैट्समैन से पिट रहे हैं. नहीं मेरी बात सुनो, बैट्समैन से पिट रहे हैं. नहीं, घबराने की बात पता क्या है, उन बैट्समैन से पिट रहे हैं जो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर नहीं चल रहे. तो ये वही बैट्समैन है जो they can't score a run for Pakistan in the middle order and they're smashing our opening bowlers in the PSL. So the fast bowlers are playing.
They're playing them into form. I mean, that's great. If you're a fast bowler, stay away from Armaan's tweets, right? On Twitter. But listen, I'm gonna make a slightly different point. Like, I'm disappointed by 2 players so far, and I'm sure they're gonna pick it up. And I really love both of these players. They're both 2 of my favorite players. So I was very disappointed with some of their behavior, and that's Sarfraz and Imad Wasim today. There was a moment, I don't know if you watched in the game today, where Imad Wasim started having a go at the batsman directly. He's the captain. That's very unbecoming. And I didn't like that at all. And he should know better. You know, he's an experienced player. He's a good guy. Everybody knows. Everybody likes Imad. And same with Sarfraz. You know, he shouldn't have expressed himself in the way he did. I think on balance, Imad's was a little bit worse of an infraction. It's not a a personal comment. It's just the way I think captains should carry themselves on the pitch. And incidentally, both captains lost their games as well. But anyway, Chalo, listen, this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. This tournament is getting super exciting. Every match is really close. I think we're all going to take a little breather tomorrow. We'll probably watch a little bit of England-India and see England's phenomenal comeback in that test. But for now, the next game that we're going to see, the next games that we're going to see are on Friday. And instead of doing the predictions on the show, what we're going to do is we're going to put them out on our Twitter feed. So if you're watching, check out our Twitter feed to see what Anam's prediction is, and check out our Twitter feed to see what Armaan's prediction is, and mine. And hopefully we'll be back on Friday with more post-match live.